Let's talk today about how there is always going to be a sacrifice when you're making choices in your life. I really want to talk about this. I was having a couple messages in DMs with some of you lovely people, and this subject has come up a lot in conversation, so I thought I might as well do a live and answer your questions. So if you have questions, please post in the chat. Welcome everybody to the live. Before we begin, I would like to send a grand thank you to all of you for hanging out and making compassionate choices. And for those of you who've purchased the bundle, I hope you're enjoying all the goodies. I've been hearing some really great feedback about the bundle, and I've seen some of you make some amazing recipes. Thank you for tagging me in them. I love seeing what you guys are making. I'm gonna pin in the chat the link to the bundle. You can also get the bundle in my bio. If you didn't want to get the bundle, however, we are having a special 60% off ebook sale from our own e-store. So some super awesome deals right now. Go grab either one. If you wanted to get the link for our ebooks and the code for the 60% off, send me a DM and I'll send it to you, because I can only have one link in my bio. And right now it's for the plant-based bundle, because that is the best Black Friday sale that we have right now. So go grab that. You can go to the website and see all the goodies that you're getting for only $50. It's worth almost $9,000. And the reason I'm talking about this so much is because it is the biggest bundle and it's amazing. And we want you to have everything you need to start implementing a more plant-based diet. So please go check that out. It's a great way to support us. So if you enjoy the lives, if you enjoy my YouTube channel, if you enjoy my reels and my shorts and the recipes I post, the motivation, if you enjoy anything that I post, if you want to support us, grabbing the bundle is one of the best ways to do so. So go check it out. Link is in the chat or in my bio. So we are open for questions. So if you have questions, please post in the chat. We already have one from Natural Beauty Within. Hello. Great to see you here. How do you eat more fruit for breakfast when it's expensive? Thinking bananas and oranges. That's a great question, because there are times when fruit does get more expensive and tropical stuff can be very expensive. I know in my life, I've spent $12 to $20 on one soursop. So it's not something that we would definitely eat every day, but bananas and dates tend to be our staples. Apples are really inexpensive. Pears can be pretty expensive these days. Mangoes are out of season, so they're way more expensive, but try to move with the seasons of the fruits. Citrus will be coming into season probably more like end of December to January. February is going to be one of the best months for citrus. So follow the prices of the seasons and try not to buy too many things you can't afford. Obviously, we're going to need to do this within our own budgets, whatever that budget looks like for you, but try to have as much variety as you can and get enough calories. You can do that with purchasing the less expensive fruits, and you can treat yourself to the more expensive things every once in a while as you're able to. So you have to work within your budget, but bananas and dates, apples, melons are pretty good as well. We found melons are pretty decent right now too. So yeah, definitely work with where you're at. But I really wanted to talk today about the sacrifice, because there's always going to be a sacrifice when we are making choices, when we're making habit changes. So you're either going to sacrifice your future goals in exchange for your current comfort zone, or you're going to sacrifice your current comfort zone for your future goals. It's really one or the other. So if we want to achieve our future goals, we're going to sacrifice our current habits and our current comfort zone. If we want to sacrifice our future goals, we can stick with our current habits and comfort zones. It's totally up to you, but you really have to think about what your goals are. So when I'm saying this, because some people get really kind of like, they're stressed out in a box because they're like, I have to do this and I can't eat the things that I love anymore. And what about my family? And they get all really stressed out about it. But it's like they want to eat the whatever foods, but they also want their goals. So they're both a want and they're both okay in the sense of the fact that it's a want, it's a desire of us. And it's okay to have desires, but it really boils down to, what do you really want? What are your true goals? What are the goals that you are looking for? And if you are looking to change your habits and change your life, then you're going to need to sacrifice your comfort zone. But if you really want to stay in your comfort zone, then you're going to sacrifice your future goals. It's really up to you. You can make those choices and you can make those habitual changes if you want to. You just have to really want to do it. And anything is possible when you really want to do something. I went to Mexico with Nate a few years ago, and we had this conversation with one of the servers. He was on the beach and we got into a conversation, and he was saying, he's like, it's really interesting how somebody could say they don't have time to exercise, they don't have time to eat healthy, they don't have time to do all these things. And they might work close to home or what have you, but if they lost their job and they got a new job that was an hour drive away, they would find a way. They would find time to drive an hour to work and drive an hour home. So they do have the time. They're just not allocating it for their goals. So if you have goals, it's time to arrange your lifestyle to work with you so that you can get to those goals. And if that means sacrificing your current habits and your current comfort zone, then so be it. But again, if you want to stay in your comfort zone, that's totally up to you too. You can, just know that you're sacrificing the future goals. So you're sacrificing one or the other, and go from there. But I just wanted to share that really quick with you guys. And again, I am taking questions. So if you have any questions about raw food, about the bundle, about the sales that are going on, you can post in the chat. You can also go check out the bundle if you want to support us. It's a great way to do so. The link is in the chat here or in my bio. But yeah, I wanted to talk also about how to make a new habit, because if you do want to get out of your comfort zone, how do we make new habits? There's one thing to say, change your habits, but it's another thing to actually do it. So how do we actually do it? Yes, we need to do it more often, because some people will say, well, how long does it take to make a new habit? Some people say 2 months, some people say 3 months, some people I've heard 6 months, some people I've heard 28 days. It really depends on how much you repeat something. So it's not time length, it's repetition amount. So the more you do something, the easier it gets. It's like learning a new language. You're not expected to have a super fluent conversation with someone in a foreign country, like a scientist, overnight. You're not expected to do that. So you can't expect yourself to change all your habits overnight either. Take it one day at a time. Start by planning out your new habit. That's the number one thing. Plan it out and write it down. You're more likely to reach your new habits when you write them down. Write it down in a journal, on a piece of paper. Write it down 3 or 4 times if you want to. Write it down so it's solid and it's real. Then you want to schedule in your new habit. So you can do something called habit stacking, which you can learn in a book called Atomic Habits. It's a great book on habits. You can habit stack on top of already habits that you already have. Like, for example, you brush your teeth every morning. You could put the jug to water your microgreens by your toothbrush so that it reminds you to go and water your microgreens. Or you could put the jug by the smoothie. If you already make a smoothie every morning, put the jug of water by your smoothie so it is a pattern disrupt and you see it, you're like, oh yeah, I have to water my microgreens, or I have to rinse my sprouts, or what have you. Like, put your workout gear under your toothbrush. So when you go get your toothbrush, you're like, oh yeah, I need to go for a workout. If you're having troubles reminding yourself, habit stacking is so powerful, but also scheduling yourself in. We show up for everyone else except ourselves. So schedule yourself in, arrange your day so that you can do your habits. If you need to wake up earlier in the morning to make your lunch, do that. If you need to skip an episode of Netflix and make your lunch in the evening, do that. But schedule it in and show up for yourself because you're worth it. So once you get those 2 down, once you plan your new habit the night before, you schedule it in so that you know you can get it done, then you just need consistency and patience. And with time, with practice, you get better at those new habits and then they become your new reality. So hopefully that helps any of you out there who are struggling. We've got some questions, and yes, we are taking questions, so please post in the chat. Awaken Through Truth asks, how long does the taco meat last for? I just got the bundle and really want to make these for the holiday. Awesome. Glad that you got the bundle. Thank you for purchasing that. And thank you for enjoying all of the stuff that's in there. If anyone wants to get the taco ebook, the party food ebook, the soup ebook, the holiday menu plan, Nate's Microgreens course, my Let It Snow book, dude food, like everything's in here that you could need to start out your plant-based lifestyle for $50. The link is in the chat or in my bio. But the taco meat lasts anywhere from 1 day, because we eat it all, or up to I would say 3 to 4 days, sometimes longer, maybe 5, but by then it's already eaten. So you're probably gonna say, I would say on average to be safe around 3, maybe 4 days. But again, you're gonna eat it and you can sprinkle it on salads, you can add it to the tacos, or you can take it with your family and friends. We've never tried freezing it, but if you did freeze it, I would recommend thawing it in the dehydrator for about an hour or 2, just to get it back to that taco meat consistency. But that recipe is in the taco ebook, and that ebook is in the bundle. So go click on the link if you're interested in grabbing the bundle. Thank you for purchasing. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Jazizi says, love you. Love you too, bro. It's awesome that everyone's in here. Love all of you. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for making compassionate choices and hanging out with me and asking questions. I love answering. Awaken Through Truth says again, I have your Journaling for Success book and it's changed my life. Thank you for that as well. The Journaling for Success ebook is amazing because it helps you to learn how to plan your new habits, and it's proactive food journaling. So normally when we food journal, we write down what we had. So it's reflective journaling. We're thinking about what we had during the day, but it's not proactive. It's not helping us to change our habits. It's only showing us what we've done. So if you want to proactively food journal, then you would write down at night before the next day what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Write it down before you eat it, and then you reflect and say, I ate that for breakfast, I did that for lunch, and I did that for dinner, and I'm glad that I planned, and I'm glad that it worked, and then you can journal how you feel. But that Journaling for Success ebook is not part of the bundle, but you can get 60% off our ebooks with code RAWFOOD60. If you want the link and the code, send me a DM, and I will send you those the link and the discount code. So you can grab the Food Journaling for Success book or the burger book or any of the meal plans, dips and dressings. All of those are 60% off. So again, send me a DM if you wanted to get the link and the code for those. Otherwise, you can grab the bundle, and that link is in my bio. Can't wait to start sprouting more. Yes, sprouting is amazing. And Nate, my love, has his microgreens course in the bundle. So you can learn how to grow your own microgreens, how to grow sprouts, how to ferment your own foods. There's so many good things in there. Where do you guys get your seeds? Well, we get our seeds from True Leaf. And we do get some from Perfect Foods, but all of the really cool ones like amaranth and the purple kohlrabi and some of the other more different ones, we love True Leaf. True Leaf has such a wide variety of heirloom seeds for sprouting. So if you wanted to get that link, again, send me a DM with seeds and I'll send you the link. If you're in Canada, you can also get seeds from Mum's Sprouting Seeds. They're a great source as well for those. There's quite a few companies out there who do seeds, but we love True Leaf, and that's where we get the majority of our seeds from. I can't believe how many things are in this bundle. I was a bit hesitant at first, but it's definitely worth it. Oh, I'm so glad that you enjoy the bundle. Yeah, it seems overwhelming, but even if you were only going to use, say, 3 or 4 things in the bundle, it's going to be worth it anyways, because that's the biggest deal. There's over 200 things in this bundle. So that means that for $50, every single thing in the bundle is 25 cents. So if you want to get our ebooks and Nate's course, if you want to get Nate's course for 25 cents, it's in the bundle for $50. You spend $50 and you get everything. 25 cents for everything, each one. It's an incredible deal. And the reason we're pumping it so hard is because it's an incredible deal. It's a treasure chest. It's full of gold, and it'll help you to make more compassionate choices and choose more plant-based foods. Is the holiday book a good one to use for family? Yes, it is. The holiday book is a great one to use for family gatherings. We're actually going to have friends over for Friendsgiving. We're doing, and we're going to have John Kohler and our friend Jennifer over, and we're making everything in the holiday menu plan. Plus, we are making the everything crackers, the red pepper jelly, and the cream cheese. We have 3 cream cheese recipes in the party food ebook, which is part of the bundle. So if you wanted to get that ebook too, it's in the bundle. Link is in the chat or in my bio. So we're doing that. We're doing the Christmas quiche, the cozy stuffing. We're making the lemon asparagus soup. And in fact, I made the lemon asparagus soup live on Chef AJ's YouTube channel. If anyone missed that and they want to get that recipe or watch the video, send me a DM and I'll send you the link to go watch that video on Chef AJ's channel. That was really fun. But yeah, it's a great one to make for family. And we make the quiche sometimes just cause we don't wait for the holidays because the quiche is so amazing. Fully Woven is asking, which one of your ebooks would you recommend for someone without a dehydrator? Great question. I have 2 that I would recommend without a dehydrator. Meal Plan Volume 3 has no dehydrator. So you do not need a dehydrator for that. There's 90 recipes in there, 30 breakfasts, 30 lunches, and 30 dinners, no dehydrator. So that's a great one for beginners. That one's not in the bundle, but we do have a 60% off sale on those ones. So again, DM me for the 60% off code and link for our e-store. But Meal Plan Volume 3 is really great. And Dips and Dressings is really good too. Out of the 117 recipes for sauces that are in there, I think there's only 4 or 5 that require a dehydrator. You could just skip those if you don't have one, but you can make all of the other ones. And for the variety, and for the most of the recipes that I have in my ebooks, the vast majority don't need a dehydrator, but there are certain ebooks, like the burger book you do need a dehydrator for, and the party food ebook you do need a dehydrator for. But some people have used their ovens, or if they have like I think a convection oven can go down lower. It depends on the settings that you have. I've heard some air fryers do a dehydrator setting, so you could use those too if you have that ability. But yeah, you could totally make those. You can cook the raw stuff if you want to. Just play around and enjoy some of the recipes. But those would be the best ones if you don't have a dehydrator to make. Do you need a dehydrator for the books you have in the bundle? Great question. Again, the party food ebook and the taco ebook do require dehydrator. You could use a dehydrator for the soup ebook to get the most out of the recipe, but it's not necessary. You can still make the soups without a dehydrator. It just helps to enhance the flavors of some of the ingredients and to thaw them, because we do use some frozen from fresh vegetables in the soups to give it more of like a soup-like consistency. But you don't need a dehydrator. It's recommended for the soup book, but the soup book is also in the bundle. How long did it take for your cravings for junk food to go? That's an interesting question. So with cravings stem from one root, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, what I've observed over the last 8 years. Cravings stem from one root, which is hunger. If you are hungry, then your cravings are stronger for all kinds of stuff. And we crave what we have reference for, what we've eaten in our past, what's comforting, what's easy, what's convenient, what our friends are eating, what we've always eaten, what we have memories with. We crave those things simply because we need fuel. So we're going to default to what's habitual to us and what we've eaten in the past. So each person's going to have different cravings, but they stem from that root of being hungry. So if you've gone too long without eating, if you've skipped meals, if you're under eating, if you're portion controlling, if you're forgetting to eat, then your cravings are just going to manifest through your past frame of reference, and you're going to crave what you habitually always eat. So when you have a craving, the best thing that I suggest is for people to sit with themselves and ask themselves what they can eat, because when you have a craving, it's simply the fact that you're hungry for the most part. Obviously, cravings arise when you go to a restaurant and you smell the foods and it brings back a lot of memories. But if you're full and you go to the restaurant, you're way less likely to have a craving for those foods because you feel full, you feel hydrated, you feel healthy, and you're not going to make those choices. But if you go to the restaurant on an empty stomach and you haven't eaten since noon and it's 6:30, of course you're going to want to eat everything in there simply because your body is hungry. So look at yourself and ask yourself, what can I eat to fuel my body? If you're having craving for salty things, normally you're needing more minerals. So I would suggest having a big salad, have more vegetables, more leafy greens, get a lot of those minerals in. That really helps with the savory, salty craving. And if you're craving sweet, just go for the fruit. Have some fruit, have a fruit bowl, make a smoothie, make some ice cream, do something like that and fuel yourself up, because for the most part, a craving is simply a symptom of hunger. So when you're hungry, you're gonna crave what you habitually already default to when you are hungry. And making sure that we eat enough throughout the day, eat enough in the morning to sustain us throughout the day, give ourselves the calories that we need. But as for how long it takes for the cravings to go away, I always say it just depends on when you eat. Because when you eat, it quenches the craving for fuel. And cravings never 100% forever go away. Cravings go away when you fuel your body. They come back when you don't eat. And if you go too long without eating, until you change your frame of reference and the foundation of what you fall back on when you are hungry, then that does change with time. Like when I'm hungry, I immediately default to the raw food, but it's because I've created a habit around it. But in the beginning, it's going to be challenging because you're going to default to your current comfort zone. And that's what we talked about earlier in here. It's a sacrifice either way. You're either going to sacrifice your future goals to stay in your comfort zone, or you're going to sacrifice your comfort zone in order to get to your future goals. It's one or the other. So you just got to ask yourself, what do you want more? Do you want to stay in your comfort zone and feed the craving for whatever it is? Or do you want to reach your future goals and feed your body the fuel it's desiring? So I hope that helps expand a little bit on that. What is your favorite myth about raw vegan lifestyle? That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. I would have to say the favorite myth, more like most irritating myth, I guess. I don't like the fact that people say that a raw vegan diet is the be all, end all, cure all. You're never going to age. Your body's never going to change. You're always going to be perfect. That's what bothers me the most about the raw community sometimes or people looking into the raw community. They look in and they expect us to be perfect. They expect us to never age. They expect our bodies to never change shape. They expect us to be perfect simply because we choose to eat fruits and vegetables. And yes, it is a healthier way to eat, but that doesn't make us superhuman. It just means that we are trying to support our body to the best of our abilities, and not everyone's going to heal absolutely everything. Like that's another thing, the absolute statements, like saying there is no nutrition in cooked food, for example. That's an absolute statement. Saying no nutrition, we know there's nutrition in cooked food. It's just which is better? Which one do you feel better on? You're still going to get nutrition from cooked food, but what could you eat differently that might have more or might feel better in your body? So the absolute statements, I'm not a fan of, and also the perfectionism in the raw diet, and even just in veganism in general. It's thought that like once you become vegan, suddenly you're superhuman, you're never going to age, and you're guaranteed to heal all these things, and you're never going to die or get sick or any of that. And that, I think, is a disservice to veganism, because veganism isn't a diet. Veganism is not a diet. Veganism is an ethical stand against the exploitation of animals. It just so happens that diet plays a big role in those ethics because we don't want to be eating animals. So it's not a vegan diet, because veganism is so much more than a diet. It's a plant-based diet, but I'm vegan and I choose plant foods because I don't want to choose animal foods. But that doesn't make me immune to everything, or the fact that I'm never going to age. I'm going to get wrinkles. I'm going to get old. My body will change. My body's going to fluctuate and go through different things as I age, and that's all okay. It's because I'm a human being, and I just don't like that vegans and raw vegans are put on this pedestal of perfection, like we can never change. That would probably be my favorite myth about the raw lifestyle. Thank you for these questions. This is really great. Are you doing a juice fast after the holidays? I will not be doing a juice fast after the holidays. I'm going to choose healthy foods during the holidays because I don't think that it's necessary to go through that yo-yo of like having a juice fast after eating whatever, but to be more solid in our foundation and choosing things every day that align with our beliefs and support our body without going to all these extremes, because you do one thing extreme and then you do the other thing extreme. It's more about being balanced with yourself and finding that center of nourishment, of nutrition, and really giving yourself what you need throughout the holidays so you don't have to do something extreme like that after, because that can really alter mental health. That comes into play as well. So staying more balanced is going to be key, and just choosing more whole plant foods during the holidays and enjoying that without having to go to extreme. How can I get it? I'm from Eastern African in Rwanda. Hello, welcome to the live. If you're still here, if it's a digital product, you should be able to download it anywhere in the world that you have internet access to and that you are able to use a credit card or PayPal. So if you click the link in the chat or in my bio, check it out and see if you're able to buy it in your country. You should be able to. If you're here on the live, then you have Wi-Fi, you should be able to purchase it. Just go to the link and click buy now. For $50 USD, you can buy the bundle and then you can download it onto your device, download it onto a computer, and then you can put all of those files into Google Drive, which is what I suggest for everyone who buys the bundle. Put all the files into Google Drive, because then once they're in Google Drive, you can access them anytime, anywhere, from any device, and they're yours in Google Drive. But you have to download them first because you have 1 year to download the content. After 1 year, you can't download it anymore. So please make sure if you buy the bundle, download everything, put it into Google Drive, and it's yours forever. You don't have to worry about it. So hope that helps. Hope you are able to buy the bundle. Do you feel limited sometimes that you can't eat all the vegan junk like pizzas or burgers, even if occasionally? Good question. I actually don't think about those foods because they're not part of my life. I don't crave them. If I want a vegan pizza, I make a raw vegan pizza. Chris Kendall at The Raw Advantage has some great pizza recipes and they're really fun. We make raw pizzas from Chris Kendall probably like 2 or 3 times a year. Maybe we'll make pizzas. Burgers, we have raw vegan burgers. We've got the burger book, which I wrote. It's got 144 recipes in it. That isn't part of the bundle, but again, you can get 60% off my ebooks. The code is rawfood60. If you want the link, send me a DM. But yeah, we make raw vegan burgers. We love the crunch of the lettuce bun. I actually prefer lettuce buns over classic buns. I get more flavor. I can enjoy the toppings more. I actually really love it. Even if I was eating cooked food, I'd still do a lettuce bun just because I enjoy it more. But I really don't think about the junk foods. I went 34 years of my life eating junk food. I'm so over it. I don't want to eat that anymore because I feel so good on raw that I just don't want that stuff. But again, it took time for me to shift over to this way of life and to this new habit. It's become my new reality. So when I do feel like I'm hungry and I have these ideas of what I want to eat, it's all raw because I've been doing it for over 8 years. It's just default now. And I make sure that I eat enough and I can adventure into having different raw foods without having to be processed full of oils and that kind of thing. So yeah. Can you film the Thanksgiving event? Woo! I will try. I will be sharing in my stories as we create everything tomorrow. So there's lots of steps involved. I'll also be sharing what we're making tonight. So if you want to watch that, the best place to do so will be to watch my stories. Watch my stories and watch how we create things. I'll try to share as much as I can. It's going to be a lot of work. We're going to have a guest staying with us. So it's going to be kind of flustered. A lot of stuff's going to happen, but I will definitely try to share as much as I can during the holidays. And I would like to try and film for YouTube, but I can't guarantee. Again, it's so much work to film for YouTube and Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok and all this and everything. Like, it's hard to film everything and try to get it all done. But again, the best place to watch our day-to-day action is Instagram stories. So check us out there. Hi, beautiful. Hello, hello. Love that saying, Lissa. Thanks, living, friends living. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm just seeing if there's more questions here. Some combo air fryers have a dehydrator setting. That is true. What dehydrator would you recommend? Good question. We love our Excalibur dehydrators, and they are having a Black Friday sale right now. If you want the link to the Excaliburs and want to know what model that we have, send me a DM with Excalibur dehydrator and I will send you the link and the model number of the one that we have. I just have to go get the model number. I don't know off the top of my head, but send me a DM and I'll send you the link. Again, they're having a Black Friday sale as with everyone else. So if you were looking for a dehydrator, now's a great time to get one. Change your microbiome, change your cravings. Heck yeah. Change your microbiome, change your cravings. But you can only change your microbiome when you change what you eat. So it's a little bit of a challenge at the beginning, but once you change what you eat, then you can change your microbiome, and then it becomes easier to eat those things. It's just a little challenge. How do you get your B12? I take a supplement. I think the majority of people just need to check their B12. It is not a vegan deficiency. It is an everybody deficiency because a lot of meat eaters are also deficient in B12. The reason why is because vitamin B12 and vitamin D are environmental vitamins. We're meant to get them from our environment, from the sun and from the bacteria in our soils. So it's not the vegan diet that's deficient or even an omnivorous diet that's deficient. It's our modern lifestyle that makes us deficient. So they're not diet vitamins, they're environmental vitamins. And we live in cities, we sterilize stuff, we don't go outside very much, we might not have access to wild soils or gardening or anything like that. So we are lacking B12 and D because of our modern life. Not the diet. It has nothing to do with the diet. Even meat eaters who are eating fortified foods, I mean, you're eating a supplement indirectly. And I can't remember what the percentage was. I remember reading this one time. It's something crazy high, like 80 to 90% of all the B12 that is created on the planet, supplement-wise, goes to livestock. So even the meat eaters who are eating food, even farmed, even organic animals are fed B12 because they're deficient too. So indirectly, you're eating a supplement anyways. You're just getting it from the middleman source. And because I'm a vegan, I don't consume animals. I just take a supplement. It's best to test your levels to see if you need a supplement, but you can take it anyways. I like the methylcobalamin version because that's the active version that we absorb. Can I eat lemon as a fruit? You could. It's not very high calorie and it's quite acidic on the mouth and for the teeth. I use lemon juice in our dressings and I do like to add it to water. But you could, again, it's not very high calorie, so I wouldn't consider it something that you would eat to get enough calories. Plus they're really sour, so I want to reach my future goal. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. You guys are great. Thank you for joining. Thank you for making compassionate choices as always. How do you keep energy? I need help. Energy comes from your food and good quality sleep and exercise, all of those things, right? We need that energy. We need to eat enough. If you're under eating or you're eating too high fat, then you're likely going to be sluggish and lethargic because sugar, aka carbohydrates, the complex ones from whole foods, not the simple ones. I'm not talking about candy bars and table sugar or juices or anything like that. I'm not talking about those simple sugars. I'm talking about whole food, whole fruit, whole vegetables, whole greens. The whole food is going to give you the sugar that you need to have the energy. And that's our preferred source of energy. It's the cleanest burning energy. Our body doesn't have to do all this extra stuff to convert protein and fat into energy. Carbohydrates are the best source. And the body prefers it, especially the brain. The brain prefers carbohydrate energy. So we need to be eating enough. We also need to be eating enough calories from carbohydrates to have enough energy. And I used to be super lethargic, but I have way more energy now. And even in the last 8 years, I just have more energy because I consume my body's preferred fuel source and I don't undereat. So if you're having issues with energy, look at your diet, lower the fat percentage, increase the whole foods, the whole plant foods, and increase your calories to a point where you feel actually more energetic. Because if you are under eating, your body is going to be like, I'm shutting down. I don't have the energy to do that. I don't have the minerals to keep your hair. We can't have a baby, so you're going to lose your period. Undereating is undereating nourishment as well as calories. So don't undereat. Make sure you're eating enough to get enough calories. I hear people say you will never get sick on raw. That's true. And again, that goes back to the conversation we had about the myths. There are lots of people who say you will never get sick when you are a raw vegan, which is not true. You can. It's way less. It's definitely way less. I think in the last 8 years, Nate and I have felt like under the weather maybe like twice. And it's only been for like a day or two. We just rest and that's that. No big deal, nothing comes of it. But before I went raw, I was sick every 2 months with either a cold or a flu or a bladder infection. I had so many bladder infections before I went raw. It was unreal. I had yeast infections. I was constantly sick. I always had a cough. And yeah, since going raw, it's been easy breezy. But that's not to say that you will never get sick or that I will never get sick. It's definitely not a cure-all, but it helps to prevent. And I think when people hear the word prevent, they think it means never get. But that's not what prevent means. Prevent means lessen your chances of getting. So you may never get it. You may never get sick. You may never get cancer. You may never get heart disease. But there's always that small percentage chance, and saying zero is doing a disservice to yourself. So it's definitely not a be-all, end-all. Thanks, babe. Thank you. So awesome. There are recipes in the bundle to make your own soaps and shampoos. There is. So if you wanted to make your own stuff, there's that in there. You can definitely do that. How do you keep energized? I eat enough and I sleep properly. That's a really big one too. No one even asked the Q. I've been on since the live you started. I'm not sure what that one's referring to. Let's see. Is natural hygiene the best way to eat raw? I really love garlic and onions like you. That's a great question. So natural hygiene is more like the 80-10-10 style, very high fruit, very low greens, very low fat. Then you have the other side of the, I would say, quote unquote, extreme, the Hippocrates and Wigmore side, which is super heavy fat and greens. I like to be in the middle. I love the high fruit and low fat aspect, but I also really truly appreciate the power of greens. Fiber helps us to detox. I know there's some people who say fiber slows detox, but it doesn't slow detox. It actually facilitates detox. It helps you to pull those toxins out of your body. We need fiber, and it's so important to get the minerals and the protein and all the other nutrients that we get from greens and vegetables. They are on equal playing field as I consider them. They are both on the same high pedestal, whereas over here the natural hygiene has fruit really high, and here they have fruit low, but fat and greens are high. So let's put them both on a pedestal and find the balance between the two. I love my garlic and onions, and there's a lot of science showing how beneficial garlic and onions are for us. I know there's people who disagree, and that's okay. It's all good if you disagree. That's fine. I personally, after hearing like the natural hygiene side and the science, I personally default over to the science side, and I appreciate the benefits that garlic and onions give to me. So again, it's totally up to you, but take what resonates from all ways. Like, you're not going to agree with everything I say. I'm not going to agree with everything other people say, but I'm going to take what resonates, and I'm going to take what's valuable for myself from other people, and I'm going to make my own plan. And that's why I sit kind of in the middle. I take the best of both worlds, the best of whatever, and I make it work for myself. That's a good question. Could you please share with us your favorite life-changing books? Woo, good question. I've been reading right now a book called Mindful Self-Discipline. That one is amazing. Mindful Self-Discipline. There's also a book called The Power of Habit and Atomic Habits. Those 3 are so awesome. Another book that's changed the way I view sleep is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. That one is unbelievable. Another one that I really like, more kind of like spiritual side, mindfulness, is The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. I just actually got a new copy of that one because I lost the other one in my move, so I really want to read it again. That one's so amazing. Oh my gosh, there's tons of books. On raw, I really like Dr. Rick and Karen Dina's The Raw Food Nutrition Handbook. That one's really great. Off the top of my head, I think those are the, Vistopia by Claire Mann and The Joyful Vegan by Colleen Patrick Rouleau. Actually, if you guys want a link to some of our favorite books, I have a Google Doc called Lissa's List. And if you want that, post in my DMs, send me a DM and I'll send you a link to Lissa's List where it has all of those. You can also sign up for my email list. If you want to be on my email list, I have a vegan resource guide that has 1 page full of our favorite vegan ebooks, 1 page full of our favorite vegan documentaries and movies, and 1 page full of our favorite vegan, it's a tongue twister, favorite vegan websites and places to go for more information on veganism. If you want to get that free guide, sign up for my email list, send me a DM, says email list, and I will send you a link to sign up for that. And once you sign up for that, it sends you to a webpage where you can download that free vegan resource guide if you were interested. Just like the raw vegan bundle. Yeah, the raw vegan bundle, everybody, for those asking or questioning, I've had many people ask about that. The raw vegan bundle happens once a year and it's all new products. And it's not happening until 2023 spring-ish. We don't have the date, so it's coming, but it's only going to be once a year. So when you see the raw vegan bundle, jump on it because it's going to be amazing this year or next year, actually. So yeah, but it's only happening once a year, the raw bundle. But there's other bundles like the one we have right now, the plant-based bundle, which is the biggest bundle we've ever been a part of. So it's the biggest value. You're getting so much content for $50. There's also the Ultimate Health and Weight Loss Bundle. That's coming in 2023 as well, but that's also only happening once a year. So if you want to hop on the bundles, do so because there's always going to be new products. There's always new contributors, new content. There's so much awesome stuff. So it also helps to support us. So even if you only used a few things in there, if you wanted to support us, buying the bundle is the best way to do so. Link is in the chat or in my bio. Can I ask an off-topic question? Since you live in Vegas, have you ever randomly seen any celebrities there? Good question. No, actually, I haven't seen any yet. It's only been a year and a half, so maybe one day we will. The only celebrity, I consider him a celebrity, is John Kohler from Growing Your Greens on YouTube. He's actually coming over for Friends Living tomorrow night. So we're having John Kohler over and our friend Jennifer. So that's going to be really fun. But he would be the only celebrity that we've seen here in Vegas. I still can't believe all that's in the bundle. I know the bundle is so great. You guys, if you want to hop on that, go click the link in the chat or in my bio. Hello from Croatia. Hello, hello. I really admire you. All your recipes look amazing. Thank you for sharing with us. I have a question. My hair fell out on a raw vegan diet and I've lost my period. Help, please. Thank you for asking this question. This is probably one of the top struggles that women have on a raw diet. And I would have to say, the number one reason why we lose our hair or periods is because we are consistently under eating. We're not eating enough mineral rich foods from greens and vegetables and sprouts and microgreens. We're also not eating enough calories. So if you are consistently under eating on any diet, it doesn't matter if it's raw or vegan or omnivore, on any diet, if you are consistently under eating, your body is going to shut down some of the more not necessary things like your period. Because if you're under eating, you're not eating enough calories, your body is going to say, well, we're not getting enough to sustain ourselves. So how are we going to sustain a baby? So it shuts that down. We lose our periods and we lose our hair. We start to lose our hair because we just don't have enough food and enough vitamins and minerals coming in to keep our body functioning at that high level. So I think for the vast majority of people who are losing their hair and their period and they're feeling cold very often, that's a typical symptom that goes along with that because their metabolism is downregulated. It's kind of like you're going in hibernation or like a famine mode because you're just not getting enough calories. Even though you might feel like you are and you might be genuinely trying to intuitively eat, you might not be getting enough nutrients and enough calories just to sustain you. So you got to eat more, increase your calories. Normally people tend to eat their BMR. And your BMR is what I call your bare minimum requirement. That's the bare minimum you need to just run your lungs, your heart, your brain, your skin, your organs. That's the bare minimum you need. But there's a lot of people out there stuck in diet culture, trying to eat just their BMR. But that's the bare minimum. If you are working or talking or like just sitting here with the live, we're burning more calories than at a sitting rate. Then on top of that, you add exercise, you add your job, you add running errands, you add all the food prep that you do, you add all of this action on top of that. If you're moderately active, you should be multiplying your BMR by 1.5. So my BMR is like 1600, but I multiply it by 1.5, which ends up being 2400. So I do need to eat around 2400 calories to not only maintain my basic body functions, but to compensate for all the activity that I do on top of that. And that's just daily life. We all burn more calories when we get up, when we walk around, when we do stuff, when we do our job and everything. We need to have more calories to compensate for that. And if we are consistently under eating like 1,000 to 1,400 calories, then our body will go into that starvation mode and shut down a lot of body functions. We get cold more often, we lose our periods, and you're just not getting enough nutrition. So it's very important to eat enough, not to overeat. We don't want to be stuffing ourselves with 4,000 calories on raw, but finding that perfect balance, the calorie optimization, where you're eating enough calories, but you're not overeating. And with time, you can find that balance. Normally it's over 2,000 calories for most people. Anywhere in the 2,000 to like 2,700 range is what I've seen when I coach with people. So if you have any questions, and if anybody has any questions about anything, send me a DM. I'm here to help you. That's my job. That's my passion. I'm here to help you to brainstorm through your struggles and to help you with your questions. I love that. That's my passion in life. So I'm here if you need help. Don't hesitate to send me a DM here on Instagram. That's the best place, at Raw Food Romance. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I'm going to put this up on YouTube later, send me a message on Instagram. That's the best way to get a hold of me, to talk about or talk through your struggles or any questions that you have. So thank you so much for that question. It's really good. Is the raw food diet naturally gluten-free? Yes, the raw food diet is naturally gluten-free because we don't do grains on a raw diet unless you sprout some, but we don't sprout any that would have gluten in it. So yeah. Awaken Through Truth says, I lost my period and my hair is thinning. I do like juice fasting a lot. Thoughts? This could again be part of why you might be losing your period and your hair is thinning. So you're just not getting enough calories. You're not eating enough whole foods. I would honestly recommend trying to follow a calorie appropriate diet of whole food, as high raw as you want, for a year before embarking in anything like that. And if you were to do anything like that, I would suggest being supervised by a professional so they can test your body and see where you're at. But even then, you probably won't need to do that if you're eating a balanced whole food foundation of your diet. Tends to be perfectly enough. You don't need to go further into the extremes and do a lot of that detoxing and everything, because your body naturally detoxes all the time anyways. You just need to support it through that detox process with leafy greens, with your vegetables, with your sprouts, with your fruit, with your nuts and seeds. We need vitamins and minerals so our body can detox. We need that for the phase 2 and phase 1 of detox in our liver and in our cells. So it's very, very important. Thank you for this live. I really needed this today. Thank you for joining. Again, we're gonna save this live and it's gonna be on YouTube as well. If you guys wanna grab the bundle, please don't hesitate. The link is in the chat or in my bio. Let's see here. Thank you so much for this live. So lovely. Thank you for joining. Please remind me of who it is that sells the green powder boost. There is a company called Daily Green Boost. They have a barley grass juice powder. We do have that. We don't use it every day. It's kind of more of a random thing that we'll add to a dressing or what have you. Daily Green Boost. If you want the link for that, send me a DM and I can send you Daily Green Boost. Yep. It's so great. Can't wait for the next Raw Vegan Bundle. Yes, the Raw Vegan Bundle coming this spring of 2023. So that's coming. I found Endless Organic Persimmons for 50%. Oh, Endless Persimmons. That's amazing. Thanks for answering all the questions. You're so kind and so very helpful and just fun to watch and listen to. Oh, Watermelon Lime. Thank you so much for those kind words. I may not be answering them in real time because I'm scrolling through trying to get to everyone's questions, but I do want to answer everyone's questions and I do want to help as much as I possibly can because when I first started, I didn't have that. I had to figure it out on my own, and it's so nice to have somebody who you can reach out to who's been doing this for a while, who can help you brainstorm through things. So again, I'm here if you need me, and I wish that there was a bundle when I first started. This bundle is so amazing. There's lots of raw content in here, a lot more than before. You're getting 5 of my ebooks. You can learn how to grow your own microgreens with Nate's video course. For $50, you're getting almost $9,000 worth of content. It is definitely worth it. Even if you just use 2 or 3 things in there, it is so valuable. You can download it all and put it in Google Drive and then just access the books. Every weekend, you could read 2 or 3 books and just enjoy all of the content that we have there. So that link for the bundle is in my bio. Love using Chronometer to check calories and nutrition. So good to see what I'm missing. And yes, I have been posting what we eat in a day videos on YouTube, and I always add a Chronometer at the end so you can see what our 22 to 2400 calorie days look like and all the nutrition that we're getting. So yeah, Chronometer is such a great tool, and it doesn't have to be a crutch. Like, you don't have to count every single day for the rest of your life. You count when you are curious about what you're eating and you want to learn more about what you're eating. It's definitely not a crutch, it's a learning tool. So that's great. Why I always tend to eat sweets, you might need more fruit. So instead of sweets, go have an apple, have some bananas, make a smoothie. There's so many sweet things that you can eat. Alyssa and Nate are the best at DMs. Yes, like I said, we're here for you. We don't have any assistants. We don't have like a virtual assistant or someone answering for us. We answer everything. We film our YouTube videos ourselves. We edit our YouTube videos ourselves. We answer all of you guys ourselves. We do it all. And the only way we're able to do that, though, is because you guys support us by buying the bundle or by buying our books, and sharing our content. Like, all of that helps as well. So thank you so much for helping us to be able to spread this message and help people, because I spend hours every single day helping people in the DMs. I get hundreds of DMs every day, and I respond to everybody, unless it's someone advertising something to me, obviously, or wanting me to buy followers or whatever. I delete those comments, but I try my best to get to everybody's messages. So please send me a message if you have any questions, and thank you for everything. I eat a lot of raw. I have pain in my calf muscles, yet I do like eating raw as I feel lighter. It depends on why you're having pain in your calf muscles. I can't speak to what it could be, but if you are under eating, then yes, you might have pain in your muscles. You're just not eating enough energy. So it might be wise to include more mineral-rich foods, more magnesium-rich foods, because if you're having any kind of cramping, you might need more magnesium. And you can get lots of magnesium from greens. Greens and sprouts and vegetables are really important for bringing that nutrient balance back to the body. So that might help a little bit. How important protein is, and what's your favorite source of protein? Everything I eat has protein in it, actually has amino acids, which become protein in the body. I don't have any specific protein source. I just eat an abundance of variety. I eat fruit, and I also eat an abundance of greens and vegetables and sprouts and microgreens and nuts and seeds in a small amounts. sea vegetables and herbs and spices. I eat all the plant foods, and because I eat enough, I naturally get enough protein. So I'm definitely not worried about getting protein because I get enough protein every day in my diet. But if someone was worried about not getting enough protein, I would highly recommend increasing your greens, your sprouts, and your vegetables. That'll really help as well. I felt that also when I ate much more fruit than vegetables. When I increased vegetables, it passed. Oh, that's a great, yeah, again, we need the minerals, you guys. We need the minerals from the greens. They are so incredibly beneficial. Fruit is amazing. Fruit is necessary and fruit is essential, but so are greens and so are sprouts and so are vegetables. We need both in our diet, I believe anyway. That's my opinion. Do you have a good source for affordable dates in bulk? Great question. You could try, we used to buy cases on eBay, but they didn't have organic ones. We just buy our boxes of organic dates from Costco. So that's where we get ours. They're just like the smaller ones. They're like $11 or $13 each. It depends on the season. But that's where we get our dates. Yeah, Costco again. Yep, Costco. That's where we get our dates. But again, you can order them on Amazon. You could even order from like China Date Farm. I think that's a California farm that Nate and I have visited. So you could order from them too. But there's lots of companies out there that do have dates. So you could search around online. I think 7 Hot Dates has some dates as well online. Let's see, what else do we have here? I sort of combined calorie density with raw, and I cut down the calories to just under 2,000. I feel better, more energized, maybe because I'm short, but overweight. Possibly, it really depends on your activity level, and yes, your body shape and height play a role too. But yeah, I would watch how you're feeling and make sure that you're getting enough nutrition. That's key. If you are eating less, make sure that you're eating enough nutrition overall, because with time, if you undereat too much, then you can run into problems later on down the road. So, let's see what we got here. Do you ever get stomach aches when you first went raw? I had severe gut dysbiosis when I first went raw. I have a family history of gut disease. So my mother had colon cancer. She's okay now, but she had colon cancer. She had a tumor the size of a grapefruit twisting her colon, and she was admitted to the hospital. They had emergency surgery. This was probably about 6, maybe 7 years ago. She's good now. She's vegan and she eats super high raw. So that's great. But my uncle, her brother, died when he was 27. I was 10 years old when he died. He had Crohn's disease and he had portions of his colon removed. And he died of pain med overdose because he was in so much pain. So I have a family history of crappy digestion and gut disease. So I have to make sure that I feed my microbiome and I heal my gut. I had 15 years battling candida and leaky gut and doing all kinds of diets. I did ancestral diets, I did fasts, I did detoxes, I did herbal kits. I took all kinds of supplements because I worked in the supplement industry for like a decade. So I had access to a lot of stuff, but nothing healed me like raw food, whole raw plant food. So simple, so simple. I just had to eat enough. I had to eat variety and make sure they were all plants. And my gut shifted on its own. And even in the last 10 months, I would say, we took almost a year now. The first time we took a gut microbiome test was last year at the end of December. And my gut score was 83%, which is not bad for somebody who was bottle fed as a baby, because breastfed babies get a boost in their digestion the first months of life with adequate bacteria for them to have a better digestion. But babies who are bottle fed miss out on that like core bacteria that you keep for pretty much most of your life. Unless you do like super rounds of antibiotics, you can kill some of them off. But I was bottle fed, so 83% was pretty good for my gut. But I shifted my diet and I've been eating a lot more bitter greens like frisee, escarole lettuce, endive, dandelion greens, radicchio, and I've been doing sunchokes. Every salad will like grate a couple sunchokes into our salad. I've increased my garlic and onion intake, and my gut score over 9 months went from 83% overall to 91%. So it's increased dramatically just in the last almost year, and I've been raw for almost 8 years. So it's just in the last year that I really increased my gut. I wish I would have had a gut test when I first started to see where it would have been at. It was probably in the low 30%. I had leaky gut and candida and yeast infections all the time. I was having a hard time with digestion. Gas and bloating so painful that I couldn't even lay down. I couldn't sit, I couldn't walk, I couldn't lay down. It was super painful. But I don't have that anymore. And my leaky gut is gone, my candida is gone, and I have awesome digestion. But it's because I took the time every single day to make these choices and to change and to grow my microbiome. So yeah. Thank you. Oh, my sweet husband came in to give me a kiss. Thank you guys so much. I'm just scrolling through to see if there's more questions in here. I know that Nate has a great story who first inspired him to go raw. I think it was an 86-year-old man who he went skiing with. Do you have a person who first inspired you to go raw like that? That's an awesome question. Yeah, so Nate was skiing with this guy. They got on a ski lift, and he said that he healed his colorectal cancer when he was 44 or 46, and he'd been a raw foodie ever since, and he was 86 years old on a Black Diamond run, and Nate was like, I need to go raw now. So that's when he found me, and he changed his life. We got married, yada, yada. But for myself, my raw inspirations were more the high fat version from I learned about raw in 2004 from people like David Wolfe, and Marcus Rothkrantz was a pretty big influence back then. The Raw Vegan Family, I don't think they do a lot of stuff anymore. They kind of inspired me. Fully Raw Christina did in the early days as well. So there was kind of more of a high fat version of raw that I would do, but I would never be able to sustain it because I was eating so high fat that I had insulin resistance. So anytime I'd eat fruit, I would feel super tired and lethargic because I was just eating too high fat, and the fruit sugar was not being used properly. So I would never be able to sustain raw. So from 2004 to 2014, anytime I would do raw, I would always be doing a high fat version, or I would include raw animal products because I never had the vegan connection. But in 2014, I watched Cowspiracy, Earthlings, and Forks Over Knives all in one day, and I was instantly vegan. There was no way I was going to eat animal products. So I became vegan in 2014, and I defaulted to raw because that's what I knew. That's what I was inspired for doing. I thought most vegans ate mostly raw anyways, so I defaulted to raw. But this time, I was really inspired by Fully Raw Christina, and I started doing the low-fat, higher carb version, but I was in Canada when I started, so it wasn't like all this tropical fruit. So I did a lot of fruit, bananas and dates to sustain my calories, but I ate a ton of greens, lots of salads. I eat 2 salads a day for most days. In Canada, I was eating tons of greens, lots of variety. I was trying to get as much variety as I could because fruit was pretty expensive most of the year, or it tasted like wood. So I defaulted to more salads. And I really honestly think that played a massive role in healing my gut, because at the time, I didn't know about the gut microbiome. It really wasn't discussed, and we've only learned a lot about the gut microbiome in around 2018, 2019 is when some of the science started coming out about the microbiome, and even now there's way more stuff about the microbiome. But way back in 2014 when I first went raw, there wasn't a lot of talk about it. But I think now looking back that it was super beneficial for me to start out with the more salads because I fed my microbiome, and my microbiome is what fought off the yeast. And when the microbiome digests fiber, it creates something called short chain fatty acids. And these short chain fatty acids are acidic, but it's not bad. It's not like this whole acid alkaline balance thing. The short chain fatty acids are anti-inflammatory. They actually fuel your colon cells to tie up the leaky gut. And because they're acids, the pathogenic bacteria don't like the acids. The beneficial bacteria love to live in the acids, all of the more acidic environment. But the pathogenic bacteria actually die off when you eat more fiber because your bacteria is creating more short chain fatty acids. So it really helps to keep pathogenic bacteria and yeast and fungus in check, because they don't like that environment. So the more fiber you eat, the more you feed your microbiome, the more short chain fatty acids they create, and the lower your pathogenic balance is in your gut. So fiber is essential, and I really think that having all of that variety of greens and salads in my diet really helped me to overcome my digestive issues. Woo, that was a good question. Thank you for that one. What test did you use? I'm actually gonna put it in the chat. It's Ombre Lab, and I'm gonna tag them actually at Ombre Lab. So if anyone's looking for a gut microbiome test, that's the one we use, and I'm sure they have a Black Friday sale, so you can grab those gut tests and get that test done for yourself and see where you are starting at, because everyone's going to be starting out at a different space. Depends on your past diet, if you were breastfed or not, if you were C-section baby or not, because C-section babies have a lower gut microbiome in general, so you really have to work harder at building it up, how much antibiotic use you have had, how much animal products you've eaten, how many processed foods you've eaten. So your past really plays a big role in what your current microbiome score will be. So if you wanted to, Ombre Lab is a great place to grab a kit. And again, they might have some Black Friday sales. I know that when we got ours on a Black Friday sale, and they were 40% off. I think the kits were only like $50 or $60 each with the sale. I think they're $99 for a kit. So it's not that bad. You do it at home, you get the kit. You wake up in the morning, you poo, you grab a piece of the poo, make sure it doesn't touch anything, and you use like the sterilized Q-tip they give you, and you take a rice-sized sample, you put it in the jar, and you mix it up for like a minute, and then you shake it really good, and you put it in the box, and you mail it off. And then they email you your score and all the details. It's really, really cool. So check out Ombre Lab if you want to get that. And the final question we have here is, did you take supplements during your healing journey? I only really take a B12 and a vitamin D. And like I mentioned earlier in this live, it's not because a vegan diet is deficient, because any diet can be deficient in those. They are not diet vitamins, they're environmental vitamins. We're supposed to be getting them from the sun and from wild soils. The bacteria in the soil create the B12. So I take the supplements, but other than that, I really haven't taken anything really else. So we do have daily green boost, but again, that's not a daily thing. We eat our food. We try to get as much calories as we can without going overboard, obviously, to get enough nutrition. And I know things are grown in depleted soils, so there's that too, but we don't get too concerned or worried about all the little finer details. We just try to enjoy our life and eat abundantly and share that with all of you guys. So thank you so much. You're a fabulous person. Thank you very much for that beautiful comment. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, before we go, we've got some sales going on. We've got the plant-based bundle, which is $50. You're getting almost $9,000 worth of content for $50. This is the best sale. It's the biggest bundle yet. There's lots of raw in there. You're getting 5 of my ebooks, Nate's Microgreens course, his Dude Food, his Alive, and all kinds of goodies. If you want to support us, that's a great way to do so. Click the link in the chat or in my bio. You can follow my stories as well. I have the link in my stories here on Instagram. We also have 60% off our ebooks. This is our sale off our ebooks. If you want the 60% off code and the link, send me a DM and I'll be happy to send that to you. So if you wanted to get the burger book or the dips and dressings book or a meal plan or what have you, you can enjoy 60% off those. Osea is actually also having a great sale. It's the skincare line that I really like. Osea Malibu, this is a vegan skincare line. They have a sale for Black Friday. If you spend $135 on product, you get one full-size bottle of hyaluronic sea serum that's worth $88, and you're also getting an ocean cleanser as well. So that's their sale. Again, Ombre Lab, the gut microbiome test, is having sales right now. The Excalibur dehydrator, the dehydrators that we use, they're having a sale right now. Again, if you want the links for anything, send me a DM. I'm happy to share with you. And if you have any problems, or issues or struggles or challenges, send me a DM. I'm happy to help you with those, brainstorm possible solutions for you. Watermelon Lime says, thank you. This was fun. Can't wait for the next one already. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining, everybody. You are so valued and appreciated. Thank you again for making those compassionate choices. I love the info you're giving us. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you. It was amazing. Do you still do the hearts I can buy to help? Oh, John, thank you so much. Actually, you know what's really interesting? Instagram actually deactivated my badges and my Reels challenge, so I can't accept money for subscriptions or badges. For some reason, they don't give you a reason, and there's no one I can contact to change that. So if you did want to support, I mean, the best way is to grab our ebooks. Even if you really wanted to support, you could always grab one of our ebooks for like $7 or whatever, but it's totally up to you. I'm not expecting that. It's just nice that you're here and you're participating and you're engaging. You share my stuff, you like my stuff, comment on my stuff. That's really a great way to support me as well. I appreciate each and every single one of you. But yeah, Instagram took away my monetization, which is fine. I don't mind. I want to be here to help you guys. And yeah, if you want to support, grab the bundle, and we will see you guys later. I've got to sign off now because we are making the crackers and the cashew sour cream cheese and the red pepper jelly. We're also going to make the crust for our quiche because we're having friends over for Friends Living. So that's happening on Thursday. Our friend Jennifer's coming tonight actually. She's going to be here tonight. So she's going to help create everything tomorrow for our big feast. So watch our stories if you want to hang in with the behind the scenes action going on. And thank you again for joining me. I will save this live and it will also be posted on YouTube, so you can watch it over there if you missed it. I love you guys so much. And as always, fruit on.